Hi, it's Kevin Ayres here with another tip on how to improve your church's communication. We're in a series looking at how to improve email communication. Last time we looked at including emojis in your subject line, and this time we're going to be looking at subject lines themselves. This is really important because the only way that the person receiving an email knows whether it's worth reading before they open it is the subject line. So if you use a really boring subject line, guess what? They won't open it because they probably get a huge amount of email, and if yours doesn't stand out in some way or grab their attention, then they might not even see it. They might just sort of scan past it, or they might think, oh, I'll take a look at that later, and of course they don't, or they just think, oh, sounds boring, I'm not going to read that. So, for example, if you are sending to people who visited your church once but aren't yet sure that they want to come along again, something that says church newsletter, guess what? They're not going to open it because they're not yet sure that they even want to come to your church again. Maybe they were dragged along or something like that, and they happen to fill out one of those cards, and they've since had second thoughts, and church isn't for them, they think, at the moment. So guess what? They're not going to open something that says church newsletter because it's not very intriguing. It just sort of lays it all out there. So if you read a newspaper that said another interesting article about Brexit, you're probably not going to read it. But if it comes up with some wacky headline, you think, oh, it catches your attention, then maybe you'll read it. So, newspapers have known this for a long time. So what you need to do to get people to open your email is come up with something really intriguing. Now, I know this works because I've had it done to me many times, and I tend to open the intriguing ones. And I've got better and better at doing it myself. And frankly, I make my living in some ways by doing just this, because I send out thousands of emails every week. And every week I get about 3 or 4 people come back who want a video for my company to produce for them. And so I know that some people have opened the email and they've taken action. And I use all sorts of things, it's a bit difficult at first. You need to kind of get into the mindset of what a good subject line is. And if you don't know how to do it, the best thing I can do is far beyond the scope of this, is just Google how to write a good subject line for an email, and you'll come up with loads of articles. But the key thing is to make it intriguing, and especially if you can use something like MailChimp or another email program that can do a mail merge in and include the person's name in the title, then that's really effective. Now, of course, you can't keep using the same tricks over and over again, otherwise they don't work. But once in a while, using something like that can be really effective. And one of the most effective email campaigns I've ever done, I've totally borrowed it from the group I'm part of, Entrepreneurs Circle. I even barely changed the text. I'll go into this in more detail, but the subject line was the key bit, where it said, which one of these 3 are you? Name. So which one of these 3 are you, Joanna? Or which one of these 3 are you, Kevin? ? And of course the question mark was a red emoji. It wasn't just a question mark, so it stood out. The point was, I sent that out to several thousand senior executives, and to be honest, I didn't think they'd open it because it's yet another email. I was amazed how many people opened it and took action and responded. So if you get it right, if you come up with an intriguing email title, email subject line, people will open it, or they'll open it more than what you're doing at the moment. Include an emoji and get people reading your email.